Bloggo's POW!
Let's look at 4 racing game conversions for the Commodore 64. These are recorded from a real Commodore 64 using a 1541 SD card drive. First we have Power Drift. Now this was created by Chris Butler, the chap who did Space Harrier on the Commodore 64 and then went on to do Thunderblade. And yeah, it's really good. I suppose the thing is you've got to look at the hardware here for these racing games in the arcade and know how advanced it was. And there's no way the Commodore 64 can accurately do something like Power Drift, but this is it's a very good conversion. It's very playable. It looks a bit like the arcade game. Chris Butler was one of the only programmers that I suppose through his he's cut his teeth with Space Harrier, and his subsequent 3D titles, they got better and better. I believe this was released in 1990s, quite a late period Commodore 64 game. I had an Amiga by this point, so I wasn't really into the Commodore 64 bit of games quite so much at this point. Do you know what? I'd probably go as far as say this is probably a bit more playable than the arcade version. Yeah, that's very good. Very impressed with that. Quick on the next stage. I suppose there's no indicator of where you are on the lap on screen, like a mini map or anything like that. So it doesn't really feel like you're doing laps, even though you are. Also appears to be quite easy. Nice rendition of the arcade theme tune. It's quite a good decision not to have a whining engine noise going all the way through. Ooh. Evidently, that's one thing I suppose you can criticise with this. You don't know whether the side of the road is raised or not. It just looks like a hill. Just the same sort of colour side of the road. But yeah, that's good. Yeah, enjoyed that. So we've got our Outrun here from US Gold, 1988 conversion of their Sega's 1986 arcade game. I got this for Christmas in 1998, so let's see what I found on Christmas morning. So I wouldn't even as a 15-year-old, I wouldn't have expected this to have been an accurate arcade conversion by any stretch of the imagination. So what I found was this: it's a fairly ugly game. It's playable, it's fairly fast, but the graphics were a bit drab. Only really a couple of colours on the Ferrari there. The advert of the game states that the car's hot, the blonde's gorgeous, blah de blah de blah, and the girlfriend character in the game's not even blonde, so it's a bit of an unusual decision, that. Actually, I do know there was a slightly more accurate version released, which had some different graphics and a blonde girlfriend in it later on. I'm not sure what the history of that was, but this was the version I played back in the day. One thing this game doesn't have are the forks in the road. Now, the Spectrum and Amstrad versions were multi-loads, where when you chose a fork you had to spool the tapes to the position where the next track was. The Commodore 64 version actually had 4 separate games. So if you loaded the first one, it gave you the Route A ending. Loaded the second one, it gave you the Route B ending, and then the Route C ending, etc., etc., all the way up to the E ending. So, and as a result, the actual game isn't a multi-load in normal respect. So it's not going to load halfway through playing through a track, but you don't have the trade-off is you don't have the decision to pick your tracks. This game was shipped with a music tape of the arcade soundtrack as well, which I suppose was quite handy if you had a Spectrum. It was quite a nice little marketing gimmick all the same. But yeah, it's quite a it's a playable conversion. It's as I said, it's not going to copy the arcade version particularly faithfully at all. And you didn't get an arcade perfect version of Outrun really until the Saturn came along. Yeah. Oh. Well, that's not particularly good, is it? That's about all I can say about Outrun on the Commodore 64. You know, it's competent. It's not particularly brilliant. There's certainly worse Commodore 64 racing games, I can tell you. Just made a checkpoint there. One thing I did find unusual about this, it uses minor niggle. It uses joystick port 1 on the Commodore 64 rather than joystick port 2. Which means I do remember the first time I played it, I thought, it's not working, I can't start the game. I think I must have hit space in frustration to find that the game had then started and then couldn't control it because the where's the joystick? It should have been in port 1. I might have said it in the instructions. Who reads instructions? Not me. I still don't read instructions. Probably why that bookcase looks so wonky. But yeah, quite enjoyed that. More of a trip down memory lane more than anything else, I'd say. So we have Turbo Outrun from US Gold. Released obviously the year after Standard Outrun, I believe in 1989. I never played this back in the day. Again, I had an Amiga by this point, so I wasn't that worried about that. So immediately the graphics are better than the Commodore 64 version of Outrun. But I think Turbo Outrun as a game, generally speaking, isn't as good as Outrun anyway. Let's get some turbo in there. Turbo Outrun never appeared to be as chilled or as laid back as the original Outrun. Oh dear. Oh, that was a bit of a sudden transition there for the stage, but oh, weather effects, nice. To be honest, I'm going to be truthful, the control of this I don't think is as good as the control for the original Outrun. Oh, more weather effects coming in. We're in a snow level now. Yeah, it's a competent conversion, the music's nice, the Ferrari looks very good. Especially when it spins out, it's really, really well drawn, very well drawn. Shame I'm seeing so much of it. Another checkpoint. Yeah, it's okay, isn't it? It's fairly good conversion. Now, one thing I've found on this, I haven't played this on tape before, as I said, I didn't have it back in the day, but this disc image I'm using on my my SD card on my Commodore 64 is has been split into two images, side 1 and side 2, so I don't know if that's an indication of what's to come. There's been no multi-load so far, the stages have just been going straight from one to another. So I imagine there's got to be some sort of multi-load coming up soon, because I've gone through, this is what, the 4th stage in a row? Oh, we've run out of time. Well, yeah, that's okay, I suppose. I mean, I was never a massive fan of the arcade original of Turbo Outrun, but that's not a bad version. Yeah, quite surprised there. Right, Chase HQ by Ocean. Already the presentation is dreadful. Oh dear. Who chose black on lime green for... oh, I don't know. Right. As you can see, this looks absolutely dreadful. Oh! Where's the music gone? Okay. Now you've got this high-pitched whining sound now, instead of an engine noise and no music. That's good. This is awful. And the arcade game's fast and thrilling, and you're speeding along, and this is slower than a Robin Reliant with a speed inhibitor. It's got the fork in the road, I suppose. Oh, I just came to a grinding halt because I just touched the rumble strip. The car pulls you towards the centre of the screen, so if you've got a curve like this, it's the battle to keep it away from the left hand side, while all the time you're pulling to the right. It's almost over sensitive. The controls are dreadful. I mean, I know arcade conversions sometimes get rushed, but this is ridiculous. The Spectrum and Amstrad versions of this were really good, released at the same time. And we know the Commodore 64 can't do a sort of... No, it can do it. Under the right hands it can. Chris Butler could do it with Power Drift. I mean, look at Turbo Outrun we just looked at. It's so much better looking than this, and plays so much faster. This is just ugly. I mean, I don't really want to rag on the programmers too much, because I imagine they were probably under somewhat of a strict deadline. What with Ocean doing Batman the same year as this, I think, across multiple formats, amongst other conversions. But this is absolutely awful. When you consider the other games that were out at the time, this is a massive letdown. I mean, again, you don't expect it to be, you know, too much like an arcade conversion, but at least expect some effort to go into it. Right, it's a target vehicle. Let's see if I can smash it up. Enemy cars just passing through other vehicles like they're not there. I mean, I just went to see what timer was, and it's in with all that crap at the bottom of the screen. Taking so long to catch up with the car. I really doubt whether I'm actually going to finish the first stage, and to be honest, I'm not too upset about that prospect. Try turbo boost. Oh, there's this hill first. Right, now that's moving at the kind of speed you expect a full game to run. There was a quick burst of speed there. Let's do another one. The graphics are so badly designed. You've got these really badly proportioned sprites. I mean, the main car looks a bit like the Porsche from the original arcade game, but the side graphics are absolutely dreadful. Yeah, time's going to run out. Yeah, it is. I've only got another 5 seconds of my life to waste. There we go. That's awful. Harder, harder. Oof. Okay, Tubby. Yeah, absolutely awful. What were they thinking? As a wise man once said. As this is a multi-load, join me next time for part 2. Here, subscribe or naff off.